It's morphin' time! Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another Sonic the Hedgehog review. Today we're taking a look at the Sonic the Hedgehog 30th Anniversary Giant Eggman Robot Battle Set, also known as the Death Egg Robot. Now, I can understand them not wanting to put the words Death Egg Robot on the front, because without knowing about Death Egg Zone, and the whole fact that it's, you know, the Death Egg's kind of a parody of the Death Star from Star Wars, I could understand putting the words Death Egg Robot on the front. May have been a conscious marketing choice. But this is the set I teased in my last video where I talked about the Studiopolis Zone playset and the 30th Anniversary 3-pack. And this is, of course, the big deal playset thing for Jakks for Sonic this year. This is the biggest, most expensive piece in the line, especially for something in this size class. Now, I do mean size class because if you're taking a normal 4-inch Jakks figure, this thing is huge. I was actually kind of like caught off guard at how big this is. This box is bigger than the playsets. The whole thing is just huge. So this retails for $39.99 in the United States. And it has so far been popping up at Target stores, and it has been available online. I ordered mine off at Target.com. I checked and see if my stores got it. They didn't, so I was like, all right, I'm ordering it. I'm getting it. Here it is. And this thing is looking really fun. They put out a neat little commercial about this that showed how it plays, and essentially it works like the game. Sonic is rolled up into a little ball, and he's got to hit the egg robot a certain number of times to make it explode. I remember when pictures first came out, we figured it was just like a giant action figure, but this thing is a little bit more than that. So that's why it got its own video instead of getting lumped in with the other stuff. Packaging style, very similar to the other 30th stuff I looked at last time. And you can see on the back here we've got rotating battle damage, launching hand rockets, sliding booster flames, and break apart victory. So this thing looks pretty intense. I'm really excited to crack it open and show you guys everything about it, and it should be a blast. So let's take a look. Alright, so here's the Death Egg Robot playset all put together. So just so you know, when you kit it out of the box, it's going to have the damage setting set to max, so all the limbs will be separated. So as you cut it out of the package, you have to put it all together. I'm going to show how all that works in a minute, so I didn't really just do it early. So let's start with the Sonic part of this. So we have what looks like, you know, it's a little catapult. It's very Death Egg Zone inspired. As you can see, you got like the caution stripes, the metal look, the Death Egg Robot in the background stealing the focus. And then you got this tiny little Sonic. What's interesting about Sonic here is he is, you know, balled up like he's spinning and throwing himself at Eggman, and he is rubbery. So he's not hard plastic like the other Sonics or the 2.5-inch Sonic figures. He is quite rubbery, and for those wondering size-wise, he is significantly smaller than 2.5-inch Sonic. So he's probably about like a 1-inch scale figure, I'd say, if you were to have him stretched out. So the Death Egg Robot, maybe scale-wise we'll compare later, but this Sonic, at least, is a lot smaller. So this is probably the smallest Sonic figure we've gotten from Jakks. And the idea is you put him in here, and then you push this, and you launch him. That's the whole deal with Sonic. And we'll figure out how well it works later in conjunction with the Death Robot, but that is how that works. So we're just going to put him off to the side. Focus on Mr. Main Event. And by Mr. Main Event, I mean Mr. Dr. Eggman event. So taking a look at this guy, just wonderfully sculpted. This is just, it looks like it leaped out of the video game. I honestly am just super impressed. You got the nose, this part's soft, you got the eyes, the antennae are also soft, so you don't have to worry about those breaking off. You can see just the paint works really well done. Just the overall sculpting detail is incredible. You know, he's even got the shoulder pads. Everything's fully painted. It doesn't look like anything's not painted. Here's the backpack, which this part attaches into the back. You have to assemble that, plug it in, but once it's in, it doesn't come out. It's stuck on there. So we got that, and he just looks absolutely incredible. I'm just super impressed. Down to the feet, same deal. Bottom half of the robot is just incredible. Like this is a massive piece, and it looks amazing. So how well does it play? Well, that's where it comes into the interesting part. He is still articulated without his exploding gimmick. So we've got the head. The head rotates left and right. I love how the teeth stay stationary, but the head moves left and right. The shoulders, they rotate, but if you rotate them like that, as you see, it just kind of pops them out of place. So you got to be kind of careful. They hang kind of loose. I wish they could pose better, but they hang loose. They do have outward shoulder movement. This shoulder pad moves. The elbow bends. These are missiles, so we'll talk about that in a moment. There's no waist swivel of any kind, but the hips do move outward, and they do have a very stiff, ratcheted knee. So you can get some posability, and in fact, he's got enough stability to do that at least. So can I get... Oh, don't want to do that yet. No. We'll talk about that in a moment. You could get him kind of into a stepping pose, but his legs aren't really straightened, so it's kind of best to kind of sort of leave him, you know, standing still. So, gimmicks-wise, we got the missiles. Missiles here fire pretty good. They're pretty heavy. So you got kind of, I guess we can just kind of point them there. They shoot, they roll. The other one does the same. So they're not super powerful, but they're kind of fun. That's sort of like the secondary gimmick. And then on the back, it does have the thrusters. Push him out. He's got the little thrusters so he can fly, so he can dodge your attacks. This was the boss of Sonic 2, so this is really neat to have. Again, not anything from Sonic 1 gets made in this line, but it is nice because Sonic 2 is legitimately the better game, out of the first two at least. So let's talk about the chest gimmick. Now the chest gimmick is interesting because it's very similar to another toy line, this being Masters of the Universe. This is not the vintage Battle Armor He-Man, but the gimmick came from there where you could hit the center of the torso and then it shows damage and then you have to like roll it to reset. It's a pretty neat gimmick. I've seen it repeated other times. I know it originated with Battle Armor He-Man, but it's just a simple little gimmick. Now, the difference with the Death Egg robot, when you hit this thing is kind of powerful. So if you hit this, it like moves over, like it has a big barrel in there. So you can see a little crack is formed. You hit it again, more cracks, hit it again. Oops. Let's reset it here. Hit it again, and then one more time. That happens. So I'm picking up the arm, and you can see here, this is kind of an intense mechanism. Whereas Battle Armor He-Man just kind of slides a little bit. I know it's a lot smaller, but if you reset this here, you notice that if you push it with your finger, it kind of catches your finger because there is these little spots like this. And then each of these is a button that pushes in, and then it releases it to slide over, and then when it gets to here, it just explodes, which is incredible. But it also, this is a kind of a hefty piece to just have drop. So I would be kind of cautious, maybe with younger children. I don't remember what the box said. I think the box said, like, I fumble for the box. The box does say 7 and up, which is a little higher than the other Jakks figures, probably because of the intensity of the exploding feature. So once you reset it here, you can just pop everything back together. The 2 legs will just pop right in, and the 2 arms as well. So he goes back together really quick and easy. But yeah, so to show it again, we won't lose parts this time. Push it in once, twice. Okay, now we lost both arms and the missiles fired off. I'm going to reassemble him, and let's try it with the actual Sonic that it comes with. Okay, so we're going to legitimately try to knock out the Eggman robot with the Sonic. This may not go perfect, and it may be a total mess, and I'm probably going to fast forward through a bunch of this, but we're going to give it a try. That was not a good first try. So that didn't take as much time as I thought. Much like the game itself, Sonic 2, you just got to kind of try do some trial and error. As you notice, I kind of started out farther away, thinking he needed to fly farther. But then I realized after he hit and it didn't trigger the mechanism, they actually kind of needed to be closer so there was enough momentum to throw him and hit him into the chest. So it is totally doable. And I definitely see this could be a fun, like, kind of party game, too. I know it's, it's meant to be like an action figure playset thing, but if you have, like, a game night going on and you just want people to, like, lose their minds, you could totally do this kind of system. And then if you want to, like, really counter it, you could have, somebody controlling Eggman Robot firing missiles at Sonic. There's a lot of playability here, which I really, really like. And honestly, I thought it might have been kind of close to impossible to actually hit the Eggman Robot with the Sonic. I thought it was going to be one of those gimmicks that looked way easier in commercials or just in design. But this little guy, when he gets close enough, if you can line it up and get close enough, he'll hit that spot and trigger the button and eventually blow up the Eggman Robot. So honestly, the gimmick gets a 10 out of 10 here because it actually works. I'm really impressed. I thought it wasn't going to work as well as it ended up working. So I'm going to reassemble this guy because I want to do some size comparisons just so you can see where this would fit in with your other Sonic collectibles. Okay, so naturally we're going to start with toys from Jakks specific Sonic line. So here is classic 4-inch Sonic as well as classic 2.5-inch Sonic. So you can kind of see that he is big and towers over both of them easily. I also want to show him next to the Mecha Sonic, which we just reviewed. I guess we'll just move Sonic and Sonic over here. Mecha Sonic is also from Death Egg Zone, so this is appropriate. And then, of course, we'll also bring in the guy who's supposed to be piloting it, good old Dr. Eggman. So you can see kind of like, it's still really big compared to the 2.5-inch and the 4-inch figures, while it's being absolutely massive next to the little 1-inch Sonic he came with. So it's a really large piece, and I really appreciate the size. It's got a nice bulk to it. And here you can see it next to the Jakks Collector Sonic, which even on a stand, the Egg Robot's still taller. So this is actually probably like the largest of the Jakks items. You can see if we got him down there. Still pretty large. It's pretty impressive. And then as a comparison for those that collected the Jazzwares line, there is the 3-inch tall Jazzwares Classic Sonic. So you can get kind of an idea of how big this is. And I keep bringing in this Jazzwares Metal Sonic, but it was my first Sonic review on this channel, and it's one of my favorite things ever. And he is a little bit taller than the Egg Robo, but Death Egg Robot's still really, really big. He's much bulkier, too. And the last comparison is just for fun, but here is Sonic, Sonic, and Sonic with the Death Egg Robots compared to the game itself, if my Switch kickstand would actually work. There we go. So you can kind of see, hopefully, that Sonic here in the game, which we're just gonna zoom right in, you can see that he comes up to about the foot of the Death Egg Robot. So 2.5-inch Sonic, not too bad. 4-inch Sonic, a little big. 1-inch Sonic, maybe too small, but I understand that works for the gimmick. So when it comes down to it, just like with the playsets, it seems like the 2.5-inch figures scale best with these other non-action figure sort of things, even though this is kind of an action figure, definitely has an action feature. So the 4-inch Sonic totally works with it. It's a close scale, but the closer scale is probably that 2.5-inch Sonic. So you got to account for Egg Robo here being a little squat down while it's kind of standing straight up in the game. So I hope that comparison helps for scale, because honestly, I thought, hey, that works out pretty good. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the Death Egg Robot. And just for fun, let's compare how it blows up in the game to how it blows up in the toy. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. So overall, I can't recommend this enough. If you're a Sonic fan, especially the classic games, or you just really love fun toys, this is one of the most fun things I've gotten in a long time. This is definitely probably my favorite of the Jakks toys so far. I do love the 4-inch action figures, but they're all so good that when you review them, or at least when I review them, they're mostly just like, hey, look at this great figure. This is something very unique. This is something that no other company's done, and something that I hope Jakks continues to do. I would love to see more final bosses or more bosses in this format of like the idea of you're actually kind of recreating the game. It's so fun, and I hope it's not just limited to the 30th anniversary. I'd love to see this continue. I'd also like to see more in the line in general of these more different things. I would love to see Tails is playing the tornado, for example. That would be such a great little playset. So I hope that this does well. It definitely seems to be doing well. I noticed it sold out online a few times, and people are very excited for it. And I hope this review helped you in some way. If it made you decide that you do want to get this, or help you decide that you don't want to get this, or maybe just reinforce that you do want to get this. I definitely recommend it. It should be, hopefully, all over stores this fall for the Christmas season. If not, check your online retailers. I definitely recommend picking this up. Totally worth the $40. That the price made me a little hesitant at first, but after having it in hand, the quality here, the fun here, I just really love it, and I definitely recommend it. I can't stress that enough. I really recommend this thing. Honestly, it's just such a blast, and I hope we get more, because I would totally buy like 10, 15 of these things. Not this specific robot, but like just other boss villains from the end of Sonic games, or even just in the middle of Sonic games. I don't necessarily be the final boss. So overall, can't recommend it enough. I'm gushing too much now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, please hit subscribe, and please hit the notification bell. Leave a comment down below and tell me which Sonic boss you want to see as a playset, because let's have a conversation about it, because speculating is super fun when we're all excited about something. And also be sure to check out Hero Club at hero-club.com for all your hero news and more, and check out my awesome graphic designer on Twitter at darkclaw643. Until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.